Yes. So, welcome everyone to our Sunday meeting.
Welcome.
So today's title is When You Finally Stop Searching, Everything Changes. So
there is another snack on spiritual investigation we want to talk about. It's this tendency for looking outside for perfection, holiness, truth, and freedom. It comes quite natural with the investigation on the spiritual path. When we start seeing ourselves, we learn about our habits. We see ourselves saying yes when we mean no, saying no when we mean yes, to belong, to make someone else like us. And it's a quite painful process when we see our habits, our selfishness, our tendencies, and we start longing for truth, for real truth, for freedom. And the tendency is to go outside, because there are so many idols there, holy people, masters, wise men and women. And we say, yes, it's out there, they have it. And we start fixing.
Yeah, it was actually for us as well to make it more personal.
Yeah.
Of course, it was also for us like that. You know, there has been or had been so much pain and also failure in my life, and just not managing to fix my family, to help everyone. And so I realized that I cannot do it, and actually I also lost interest in fixing the whole thing, because I knew that I always came up short. So, and then I also started looking for something. Well, not even started looking for something. I prayed that I need help. I had no idea what I exactly wanted, but I wanted to be happy, or I wanted peace. I wanted to find the truth, and that was like, I mean, now really, if I look back, that was really quite a young age. I was like 20. I mean, I already had lots of, not really depressed, but really longing periods. Also before, as a teenager, I also felt that I'm kind of like different than others. Of course, I did, I did go partying with others and whatever, but there was always a kind of longing for, it was like a heart cooling. And this is how, when you pray, your prayer will be answered. Then you have this desire for peace and freedom. then the help comes. And I was amazed how it really came. That's when I met Gangaji. Gangaji is our teacher and her husband, Eli. And it's amazing. And of course, what we are now going to talk about is divine disillusionment. So I also had this, and I still sometimes have this, that the teacher, in this case, Gangaji, is up there.
On a podest.
Yes. And,
perfect.
And so and even without, I don't know, really knowing her personally, imagining how she is, or I used to have this imagination. So of course, then she kept talking about, no, I'm not different than you. I'm just like you. You can also see her book here, up here, just like you. And so she has times and she's angry. She has, like a normal human being. And of course, my tendency as a student, or our tendency, everyone's tendency, is to see someone up there and that probably has the perfect personality, and I have to become like that.
So we try to imitate, and we try then to fix ourselves and to change our habits. And by doing so, you have to fail. You all fail in this.
Oh yes,
it's never working. So this is the next step of disillusionment.
This is a huge disillusionment. This is
you cannot do
the
it
biggest.
To see this. I'm failing. I'm not able to become like this idol I was putting on a podest. And the challenge is to stop this. To stop all trying, changing, doing, and to welcome this longing, this burning longing in your heart. Whenever this disillusionment is there, at the same time, there is a longing for this which is pure. So when you investigate, you see this. It's not that the disillusionment is there and that's it. No. On the other side of the disillusionment is the longing for something pure. And you let this in. You stop totally and give everything to this longing. And this is what reveals the love, the truth, the wholeness inside you, which was always there, but always overlooked, because it's overlooked so easily. This is a real challenge, to let all disillusionment be there, and at the same time the sweetness of the longing, without moving, without one step. This is walking on the razor's edge. And when you stop in the midst of this burning disillusionment and desire, one side and the other side, your heart will be broken. And in this breaking up of the heart, love is revealed. That's another paradoxon of the spiritual path. we learn when our heart gets broken how to manage to stay safe. And usually we say, I will not let my heart be broken again. Not with me, not one more time.
But with that, you are already in ignorance.
And in suffering. With all the techniques to stay safe from a broken heart, you're in a suffering circumstance. Let your heart be broken. Broken and broken again 100 times.
Yeah, but what we are talking about is not like, you stay in an abusive relationship to let your heart be broken and broken again. Or even if, for example, if you live with your mother and she's abusive, then you walk out of the door and you don't come back again. So this broken heart, what we are talking about, is more embracing everything is in it. And still there is a common sense, so there is a normal, natural protection also of yourself, which comes naturally.
It's all in realizing the truth. So you start saying no when you mean no, and you start saying yes when you mean yes. And by this, some friends will leave. Some will be disappointed because you don't swim with them in their story and make them believe that they are right. You simply stay true. And when people are leaving, that's heartbreaking. That's normal. But that's the truth. When I remember the story when Ila and Gangache came back from Papaji, from India, and they were on fire. They were in love. They finally have found what they were looking for, a true teacher. And they were so inspired. They started talking to their neighbors and friends, but they were not interested. And they couldn't believe it. How can somebody not be interested in this? And that's heartbreaking. But that's it.
Seeing this, I also experience heartbreak quite often, also like today, because of a friend who again and again needs to stop, because even like the physical body, gives this sign, and she has to have different operations and so on. And every time she says, oh yeah, I see, I need to stop. I see, now I will stop, I will stop. And then again, today I saw that again, she's the same word trance, going to the next thing, going to the next teacher. So she's
next event.
Next event to
socialize,
to distract herself actually from this humanness, from her pain or from whatever she's trying to avoid. And although we are telling her about, like we are telling everyone about this great news that you can stop and you can see this divine presence, you can recognize yourself as this love here, and you can, in that, you just recognize your personal suffering as a tiny little something which is not real or not important, because this divine presence which you can taste or even taste it more and more, gets so sweet. You are in love with it, and yeah, so it's a mystery, uh, who who is willing, or who has this longing and burning fire to this stillness, truth of yourself.
But usually the personal suffering story we're telling to ourselves is so close. And there's also a sweetness in it. There is a entertainment. It doesn't get boring. It's always something out there which is more interesting, distracting us from the truth within. It takes this stand to say no. I stay here. I stop until I found what I'm looking for. No, Buddha was sitting under the Bodhi tree, willing to stay there, how long it may take. And all the distractions came along, like beautiful dancers and women, and oh, Buddha, let me give you a massage. You're sitting here for such a long time. Let me help you a little bit. And I said, no, I don't need this. Someone coming along with nice food. Oh, come on, you have to eat. Your body is weak now. Make a break. No, I don't need this. I will stay there. Everyone else sits 20 minutes. It takes this willingness to say no until I found what I'm looking for. Doesn't matter how long it takes. I don't have to check my clock every 5 minutes. Is it still there? So it's fine. Hmm.
I was just thinking in this moment that, oh, we are on YouTube. Probably people who are now, scrolling on YouTube and see that, oh, here is something alive. Oh, I didn't say anything. And they scroll over. Or they stay because they feel the peace. Because whatever we are, okay, we give a title, we give, a talk about a particular topic. But this is still not it. This is a pointing to what is here, always here, in your heart. And all what we are talking about, you already know. We are not teaching you or preaching you anything. We are dedicated to truth because we are in love with it. We are in love with our teachers. It's a divine calling. And we are here to confirm to those ones who feel the resonance with this teaching. Let's call it non-duality or satsang or stillness, Gangaji, Eli. But if you feel the resonance, you feel it. You will not stay because what we are saying.
Yeah, you don't stay because of the words. You stay because of this, what cannot be said. But because of this, what comes through, no matter if the words are said or not.
And this what comes through is very simply this love. You are love. Stop. That's why the title is when you finally stop searching, everything changes. Because you find love in the core of your searching when you stop. And this cannot be expressed. It's here. It is. It is closer than our breath, the truth that you are looking for. And it is everywhere. You are everywhere. We are everywhere as this presence, as this love.
I was just reading a wonderful book about Rumi and his Sufi friend, Shams-e-Tabrizi. And once Rumi was falling in love with his friend, he learned and he saw love in him. And finally, love in everything, in every flower, in every tree. And he starts writing poems, most beautiful poems I've ever written, I've ever read.
You probably all know Rumi.
It just came out quite naturally from him. He was not a man who was writing poems. He was a more scientific person.
A scholar.
Yeah. Scholar. He was in mathematics and astrology and teaching the the rules of religion and things like this. And he changed totally.
Because he had this longing. He knew that something is missing. He was longing for a companion. He knew it. He even had dreams about it, that he will meet someone who will teach him something, or who will reflect something back. And that was Shams. And in this reflection, in this mirror, he saw himself as love. This is what we all want, to find home, to really realize yourself as this love. You are looking on this internet now, I can see that viewers come in, go out, come in, like little beings coming in, like searching. And for what? Love. You need love. You want an embrace. And you get this embrace not necessarily from us personally, that we will like you and we will embrace you, but you might resonate with this love that we also realized, that is here, that is beyond the relationship love. How we got together also with Harald, this was satsang, this was love beyond love. And we knew that we are immediately a kind of a servant to this. This brought us to our knees. Of course, there was then also the human love, like, yes, I love you as this person. That was huge. I mean, these meetings we had, because at the beginning, because we were at the Gangaji and Eli retreats, so at our teacher, and then we were friends, we met online, and then regularly online. And these meetings were pure love and pure support.
There were long periods of time when we were online, but just looking into our eyes without saying a word.
Yes.
And this was nourishment pure. Nourishment doesn't necessarily come from words. And usually we are distracted when there is a while of silence. We get somehow nervous and it's not comfortable. There always have to be some conversation. It has to go on, words, words, words. But really, it doesn't mean that there is nothing to say. But maybe there is something which cannot be expressed through words. And when we are open, this can be transferred and the other one can receive it and send it back. And then no words are needed.
In my case, it's more like this deepening in this truth and love and stillness. My experience is that after a little while of talking with someone or hearing their stories, I just really, I have to become silent. I cannot say anything anymore. It's so tiring. Stories, I mean, already our own story, which is running in our head, can be so tiring when you really realize it. And then you make some friends, colleagues come to you and they also tell their stories. Oh, and you just want to rest, and that's fine. Then rest. It's your life. It doesn't matter. Then this is what I am practicing. It's not always easy, when someone, a friend, is just ventilating or telling me something, and I can already realize that there is no point in, discussing this, and then to say no, I'm sorry, I just cannot listen to this now. Yeah, that we are learning on the personal level. So yes, when you finally stop searching, everything changes. Because so many things in your life were fueled by this seeking. If I get this success, if I get this relationship, then I will be happy. Or if I get the money, then I will be happy. And when you realize that this has nothing to do with your happiness or with the truth that you are looking for, then you notice the seeking, the fire for seeking and this fuel is gone. And then you are like, okay, so what to do now? And then everything changes naturally. It's a new beginning.
Yeah, it's like this story from the phoenix, which burns finally, and then from this burning and from these ashes, he arises newborn. So when all the disappointment and disillusionment comes here, from this burning arises the divine love. This out from this calling, because the call is always there. And you follow the call. It guides you directly to love. However, this love and this life might look on the outside, there is no rule. Maybe you will leave your job, maybe you will stay, maybe you will leave this relationship, and you will stay. Doesn't matter. That's not the point anymore. But the life is a life of love, a life of truth. That's the only thing that matters then.
And the life of truth, the life of love, if you want to really dedicate yourself to this, that's the life of the broken heart. Because there will be always people out there, as we say, with ignorance, with blindness. But all of them are an opportunity to again examine what's true, to not take it personally, to see it. What is this arising ignorance in this so-called other? Is this really in the other? Or is it the same mind? Is it the same presence, the same game? Are you willing to see it in the next challenge? What is it really? What is it made of? It's a willingness. It's a willingness.
It's a willingness not to stop in the moment where ignorance comes toward you, and then you blame them. Oh, they are so ignorant. No, you don't touch this.
Don't touch this.
This is the moment where we usually go into the story, and then we blame them for they being rude to us, and it's because of this and because of that, and nowadays everything is getting worse, and and so on.
Yeah, you know this story.
It's a never-ending story.
Oh, and then at the end you are exhausted and you are like, oh my God, I wasted, I don't know, 2 days now in thinking about what happened.
And usually we blame ourselves for not being stronger, for not being quicker to react and push it back, and we still nothing happened.
These challenges are calling you away from your heart, from the present, from stillness, from peace. That's why the best is to rest more and more in your heart, in silence, in stillness, in your love, in your longing, in the heart. And then you fall in love more and more with this presence, with this divine presence that is you, and your heart is opening more and more. Ah, and then you actually lose interest in the ignorance, in the illusion. Or not just lose interest, but you see clearly in the next moment, like, wow, what was that? What is this person saying to me? And you can see it clearly. You come back, maybe you react, maybe you don't, maybe you will make a mistake, but you don't care about that mistake. It will be guided.
And this is also how we keep ourselves in the past when something happens where we are not happy with, and someone comes toward us with ignorance and hate, and we don't react like we should have reacted, then we blame ourselves for not being able to do it. I still cannot do it, and I'm still weak, and I still give them power over me, and blah blah blah. And this goes on and on in your mind for days. Waste of time. A waste of this time you could be celebrating the love of the moment. It's gone anyway. These moments come and go. Don't matter. Who cares? When love is there. Mm. Love doesn't care about ignorance. Love sees it, refuses it, and walks on. There is this story about the Buddha and Govinda. They were coming through a village, and they were Like these monks, they were begging for rice, for something to eat. And they went from door to door, and there was this woman, farmer woman, 3 children, one on her arm, and she got angry. And says, "What are you doing, you monks? You're not working, and you are begging for food." And she brought a nappy full of shit. My child said, "This you can have." And Govinda got very angry and was already
Pulling out the sword.
pulling out the sword, and I said, "No, no, 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 no." He just took it, gave it back to the woman, said, "Thanks, I don't need this." And he walked on. That's it. While Govinda stayed in the rage because there was this ignorance and she couldn't see the master in the Buddha. The Buddha didn't care. That's the teaching.
So if someone comes at you with anger or whatever, blaming you for anything, you don't touch it. You say that, okay, thank you, I don't need this. And you walk away. You walk with love.
This is the wisdom of the love, which guides you.
Trust is love. Trust yourself. This is what our teacher always said and says, Gangaji, trust you, don't trust me, trust yourself. Then of course we can say like, who is yourself? Well, yourself, your true self is reflected back to you in satsang. And that was reflected back to us with Gangaji, satsang,
With Eli.
and with Eli. This is what they meant. Trust yourself. Trust this, that you have realized. Trust this. Be true to it. You don't need to follow anyone. Or if you follow someone who will tell you, trust yourself and not trust me, like follow us, because we will tell you what to do. No, that's false. That's false teaching.
No one needs a new religion.
Oh no.
No one needs a new ism.
We need love. Love. Your trust is love.
Because freedom, love, is free. And freedom cannot be put into any rule. Otherwise, it wouldn't be free. So, no structure. Nothing you can really learn.
That's why it's difficult. Nothing you can really learn here because you are already it. Can be yourself.
But you can learn how to see through the mechanism you build up to overlook it. This is what we can learn. This is what you can see.
So if you have any question in Zoom, because this is running in Zoom, this meeting, then you can ask it in the chat, or if you want to come in, you can also ask your question, and your video will not be seen, only your voice on YouTube. And those ones who are on YouTube, you can find in the description below how to register for these meetings on Zoom through our website. You can find it below, and we welcome you there.
Yeah, so you can ask questions and we can come in a direct contact. to make these meetings more alive.
Because usually we don't speak so much like we did now. It's more interactive. Otherwise, it gets abstract, and then your mind is a very tricky mind, like everyone's mind, and then starts imagining how they really mean it, and what does it have to do with me, and so on. And then we say stop, and we can look at your particular question. And on Tuesdays, we have silent sitting, which is supporting you and everyone and us to surrender more into this who we are being. Oh, I'm gonna look at some. They are still there. Mm-hmm. If you have a question also during the week, you can write to us at info@adrianharald.com. Or if you have a question what we should talk about in these meetings.
Yeah. Maybe there's a topic you would like to hear about.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
May all beings be happy
and free.
Mm. See you next week, Sunday and Tuesday. That's so long.
Mm.